Hello. Happy New Year, everybody. How are you all? Hi, Susan. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Canadian Kerry. Thank you. How are you all doing? It's great to be back. Hi, Harold. Hi, Helen. Hi, Maureen. So, how are we all? Did we all get over Christmas okay? Hi, Nana D. Hi, Nancy. Are you all good, guys? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Happy New Year, Debbie. I'm delighted to see you. Yes, all over, guys. It's all done with. Thank God. Hi, Melissa. How are you? What a Christmas, guys. What a Christmas. um, so you all know about the awful weather we've had. I'm good, Maureen. Thank you so much. Uh, Oh, Canadian Kerry, my God! Do you know something? I've stopped counting what I've put on. I had an operation a year ago, November the 13th, and since the operation, I've put on over a stone. So part of my New Year's resolution is when I go back to work, which will be Thursday, I'm just going to start getting out to walk and diet, and get back to myself. Um, I've had some really bad back problems, so that has kind of stopped all the walking that I used to love doing. I always went for a walk. So my plan is to kind of get the back sorted, get back on the diet, get back out walking. At the moment, I'm not counting what weight I've put on or anything else. Hi, Jim. How are you keeping? Thanks, Shelby. But anyway, yes. Uh, our little village was hit pretty bad Christmas Day morning, as you've seen from the video I put up. Uh, I literally left home. It was torrential rain all morning. We wanted to go to Christmas Day Mass. Mass, I believe, was 11:30 in the morning, and we left about 20 past 11. There's a little church just up the road we had decided we'd go to, and there was flooding on the roads, but it wasn't bad at all. We drove to Mass. While Mass was on, the rain, it was just, we could hardly hear the priest. It was just torrential rain coming down. And I just thought, oh dear, this does not sound good at all. And sorry, now I'm just getting notifications. So Mass ended and we walked back out, and it was just torrential rain. I can't remember seeing rain like it. And even as we walked across to the car park, parts of the car park, were flooded. So we tried to come home one road, and that was just a complete no. We tried to come back another road, which would have taken us way out of the village, kind of in towards Wexford town area. And when we got so far, a lady stopped us and she said, "Go back. There's a car stuck up there. It's really deep. Go back." So I decided in my little car I was going to try come back the same road that we had left from, if you know what I mean. And the roads were just, I was so scared. I was praying my little car would get through these. I mean, this was not just normal floods, this was like rivers. And I was coming through and the car was chucking. I was so nervous, and we got so far, and we just couldn't go any further. We were told, get out of your car, leave your car, abandon the car. And we were told basically walk through it. So I had a lovely grey big long coat. I was all dressed up, and I said, how far is or how deep is the water? And he said, hip, up to your hip, like up to your waist. And I thought, oh my God, about 45 minutes or so prior to that, we had drove that same road. But the banks had burst. It was devastation. There was a little public house up the road. They were completely flooded. Houses down towards the little bridge that's there, completely flooded. It was up to windowsills. I mean, this happened, as I said, within the space of 45 minutes. It was so scary. We proceeded to kind of stand in the rain, hoping that somehow we'd either get the courage to walk through it, or we'd get some sort of divine inspiration, or that the tides would go down a bit, making it easier to pass. And it just wasn't happening. 2.5 hours later, two tractors passed us. They wouldn't stop. And then this lovely man, I think his name was Timmy, stopped and he said, "Come on, I'm going to bring us across." So we left the car, got across in a tractor, and as we came over the bridge, we could see total devastation. I mean, you see in the video, the homes that were, I mean, they were gutted. Like, it was horrible to see all the families outside. I mean, this is Christmas Day morning, so you can imagine um, businesses, public houses, just complete devastation. We had search and rescue. We had an elderly couple come from a different road, which was really badly flooded, and they had chanced to come so far, and their little car was just swept away in the floods. And the poor lady, I believe she was screaming for over half an hour before anybody heard her cries, and that's why the search and rescue and the helicopter were called, and they rescued them. They were brought to Wexford. As far as I know, they are okay. And then just the devastation of the few days after that. Irish Eyes went down to all the neighbours, and he kind of helped clear out. I mean, you're talking, fridges, washing machines, sofas, televisions, just completely, just gone, like. And a lot of those houses down there have small children, which makes it so much harder. I mean, it's Christmas morning. You can just imagine what their living room and their sitting rooms were like, full of toys and everything else. So there was a GoFundMe page set up. So I believe they've raised, I think maybe 10,000 euro, I think it is at this stage, and the government have said that they will help as well with costs of repair. W3 MPG Rod, thank you so much. Rod in Pennsylvania. How are you, Rod? Thank you. I know, Jim, and you know something, I was so eager to get back. Christmas Day is, you're wanting to do the dinner, and I'd everything really prepared, and we really wanted to go to Mass. And leaving, yeah, it was wet and it was just horrible weather, but the road was fine to drive on. It was when I was coming back, it was just horrendous. So the car got pretty much wet, out and out wet. The fan belt was slipping on it. It was just, I thought my little car was going to just die in the floods, but please God, she's okay. We've given her a good bit of a drive around. So it seems to be, fingers crossed, it seems to be okay. And then I just, Christmas come and gone, and I just didn't do an awful lot. And then we decided, Irish Eyes family is actually from Galway. And we decided, with the way the weather had been, and it really hadn't let up with the rain. Canadian Kerry, thank you so much. You are so good, so kind. Thank you so much. Just the way the weather, no, the weather has just been awful. It's still awful today. It is very mild, which is quite strange, and possibly why we have so much rain falling for this time of year. It's way too mild, like. But so we decided we'd go down and visit his family down in Galway. And so we went on the train into Galway City, and we showed you the bagpipes and a little bit of the train journey. It was a lovely train journey. It was so nice not to have to be driving. And when we were down there, of course, as you know, I have to vlog. I have an awful, I have a bit of an itch for getting stuff done. So we actually went and visited a mausoleum. It's called Daly Mausoleum, and it is basically in front of a beautiful church. I think I did actually post a photo of the back of the Daly Mausoleum, and it's actually sinking into the ground. The weather was so bad. I didn't do any of the cemetery that's there. I didn't even really show the area very well, but I did go down to see the mausoleum, and it was quite cool. What's inside that is quite nice find, actually. Um, a big kind of a gaping hole right in the doorway. So we've done that one. So that will go up this week. It's only a short video, but it just shows you it's beautiful mausoleum, lovely big Celtic cross up over the roof, and then this big Celtic cross. So that was really nice, and we did a bit of visiting family and stuff, which was lovely. As I said, it just rained, 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 rained. On the last day, we were coming home, and we decided to visit another mausoleum and a little tiny, tiny cemetery. This mausoleum has been restored and renovated. And we'd been looking at this for quite a while. It gives me vibes of like Egyptian style, but it's kind of Gothic as well. And there was loads of renovation done to it. So I presumed that when we got to the mausoleum, we were going to see almost like a new build. It has been really well taken care of, really, really nicely done. There's a big long kind of a lane up to it. And my God, I was so happy, because usually when people renovate mausoleums here in Ireland, and we don't have that many, what we could see online on the photos, before they kind of cleaned up the area and fixed this mausoleum, there was a huge kind of a space, a rectangular space up over these beautiful iron doors. And so I presumed, okay, we'll go and we'll video it and we'll have a look at the little cemetery. But they're going to close it up. It's going to be gone. We won't be able to see anything. But they hadn't closed up this rectangular hole on top of it. These iron doors are actually magnificent. They're so, so cool. So we were teetering over sides. It's kind of steps down into these iron doors, and then it's built up. So I was able to teeter across and kind of get a good look inside. So this is going to be, it's probably one of my favorite mausoleums that I've seen, and we have just an amazing find inside it as well. And I don't want to give it away. I'd love to be able to tell you all what we find, but I won't. But the mausoleum itself is magnificent, absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Linda. Yes, we are safe. We were very, very lucky. We're up from the village a bit. So, I mean, 3 or 4 doors down from us, it was chaos, We were just so lucky where we were. And having said that, while we were waiting for the tractor, this man was like an angel to us. We were standing, as I said, in this torrential rain. We were soaked through. My dress was soaked. My lovely coat was soaked. Irish Eyes was soaked. This man by the name of Timmy, he just came up in his tractor and he said, "Get on," and he brought us across that flood. And I am so, so grateful for him, because it saved our Christmas Day and the kids' Christmas Day. But we had that fear going through the floods. What's our home going to be like? But we are so, so blessed that the flood did not come up to where we live. Thank God. Maureen, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, Jim, he was a great help. I mean, there were literally, I'm not sure who supplied these massive, massive skips, but they were literally just, excuse me, anything they could get out of the house that was water damaged was dumped into these large skips. So Irish Eyes was able to go down and help out. Yeah, Hazel, is it bad there now, or what is the story? No, Canadian Kerry, we were blessed. Our home was okay. Thank God. The car probably got the worst of the damage, because I did have to drive through really bad floods to kind of get back so far. I was determined to kind of get back as near as we could to the village, but just every road, I think we tried 4 different roads to get home, and every one of them, as I said, within just over half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, 45 max, the time of, mass, the place was just devastated, just devastated. Belated happy birthday, Melissa. Still raining, Hazel. Oh no. Yeah, the wind will kind of drive the rain worst, if you're kind of in your home and the rain is coming, if the wind is battering it towards your house, it's so much, it's so, it's bad, like. So guys, how did you all fare out did you do any kind of New Year's celebrations? We were in Galway, as I said. We came home actually New Year's Day. So not all the public houses here are closed at 8 o'clock. Because of what, that C word. I'm not even going to mention it. So public houses are all closed. As far as I know, I'm nearly sure actually restaurants, everything like that are closed. So there was no Jim, do you know something? I did the same. We had, as I said, we were doing loads of visiting, and I was absolutely wrecked. And I knew we were traveling home. It's a 3 hour drive. So I just I think I fell asleep before 12 o'clock. Oh, you have snow flurry, Susan. No way. Where is it? Now that's what's going on, guys, with the weather. Yeah, Jim, absolutely. Community is everything, isn't it? It's when people pull together. Do you know, it's as simple as that. Oh no, Canadian Gary. Yeah, I think the majority of people stayed at home, to be fair. Just everything is so different, isn't it, guys, towards maybe 4 year ago? Just totally, totally different. Yeah, Goldie, do you know something? I don't think we missed anything really. I mean, if I had been awake, I'd have watched maybe some sort of countdown on telly, but it just wasn't for me this year. Wow, that's some difference, Maureen. Yeah, it's true, Susan. It's just, you're probably safer off at home. So, guys, are y'all on holidays, or are you back to work, or what is the story? I'm back Thursday. The kids are back to school Thursday. Yeah, Hazel, I do not know how you can work in all that gear. It's just, I mean, we give out here by just wearing the face coverings, but it's just full PPE is just, it's a nightmare. It's hard, hard work. And, I admire you for that. I really, really do. In Edinburgh, they had the lone piper bringing in the new year. Do you know something, Goldie? That's nice. That is nice. Do you know that's we were in Galway. You might have seen. I just put up a man busking in the middle of Galway, Air Square, it's called, and just a lone piper on his own, and it was just. I mean, it was just nice to see that he was there. Or morning. Do you know something? I don't do late nights at all. I'm not able. I am the kind of person that needs a huge amount of sleep. I actually become very sick if I don't get proper sleep. If I miss out on sleep, my body actually gets sick afterwards. Oh, Goldie, that's lovely. It's nice, do you know something? I suppose this year it's a bit different. We kind of got to go and meet family and stuff, which was so much nicer. The year before, everything closed, so we weren't allowed to go out past our county. So that didn't leave much visiting at all. Happy New Year, middle-aged bald guy. How are you doing? How are you keeping? Rod is retired. Every day is Saturday. Nice one. I look forward. I look forward to retiring, Rod. I really, really do. Now, I do love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love my job. I love the routine of it, but it doesn't give me much time to go out and vlog and video. You know yourself. Did you, Goldie? Well, that's lovely. You know something that is very, very important. It is very, very important. Um, I've said it before in Ireland. Um, if I go into a newer cemetery, even the other day when I went to see the Daily Mausoleum, it was it was downpours, pure like that straight rain. It was horrible, and I was trying to video the mausoleum. I couldn't even speak. It was that wet. I couldn't even speak. So I'm going to actually do a voiceover on that one. But the amount of people that still came out and they were putting flowers on graves and tending to headstones, I just thought that is amazing. As bad as the day was, they were still out visiting loved ones in the graveyard, and that is, I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? That is something else. Like, no, Hazel, I won't be retiring from this at all. It's something I would absolutely, I will stay here forever if I can at all. Um, but I mean, in summer, I'm lucky in the summer, I'm off for 7, 8 weeks of the summer. So I'm really, really lucky that way. And I think the summer will be the time I will be out probably every second day at least, trying to do some sort of videos and vlogs. This is definitely something that I won't be retiring from for a long, 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 long time. Middle-aged bogger, if you can't, I don't know what you're like out in Chicago. I've seen Ron out in the snow and the blizzards, and I was just, my heart was in my mouth for him, just walking across the areas. It's so dangerous because not only are you judging how deep the snow is, but you've got to figure out what's underfoot, as in, headstones or memorials or whatever else. Um, but um, I absolutely adore the snow, but in Ireland, we are not prepared for the snow at all. We don't have, I mean, when Ireland gets a few inches of snow, we shut down. It's terrible. We don't have ploughs, we have gritters, but half the times we're not prepared and the roads aren't gritted. So you just don't, you just don't get out in it. But I absolutely adore the snow while we are safe and able to go for some sort of a walk. But yeah, you've got to mind yourself out there. Ireland doesn't get very much snow at all, really. Um, I can't remember the year. It's a good few years ago. Oh my God, we got so much snow. We were snowed in for it seemed like forever. And not only did we get a load of snow, but it turned into ice packs. So it wasn't even a case that you could go out and play in it. The kids were stuck inside. It was so, so dangerous. Hi, Reza, how are you? Yeah, he does, Hazel. Do you know, fair play. He's some man. He really, really is. I mean, I loved that one where he was out in the snow. I absolutely loved it. It was like a dream come true for me. I just, do you know, it's snow is so beautiful, but then I suppose it's dangerous on the other side. Hi Jesse, how are you keeping? Goldie, if there was a sled outside and it was snowing, I'd be on it too, you know. I could sled my way into the cemeteries or something. Yeah, Canadian Kerry. I mean, use are sure of it. I watch a few YouTubers over in Canada, and yeah, they seem to get a good bit of snow over there. Jim, do you know something? I'm reading that I know so many people that retired and they were so happy to be retired to suddenly find themselves with nothing to do as such. I mean, they had hobbies and everything else, but they didn't have work to go to. And actually, most of them, I'd say 99% of them, came back and worked part time. So, isn't it great? I do kind of like the routine of work. Um, but yeah, I just know so I know so many people that have retired and have come back kind of working part time just to kind of keep themselves occupied, I suppose. No, Nana D, you won't find me shoveling snow either. No way. Oh, do you know, Hazel, if I could meet Ron tomorrow, I'd do it. I just think he's an inspiration to us all. He really, really is. And he is um, a gentleman and he has a very, very young heart. And he's a bit like me. There's a kind of morbid side to Ron as well that I like. And I have that in me as well. And a bit of cheekiness and a bit of fun, I suppose, as well. And that's I suppose that's what keeps you young as well. Well, Julie, I'm clumsy regardless of snow and ice, to be honest with you. There's a saying here, you'd fall over a crack in the ground, and I'm not talking a huge crack. If there's one on the ground, I find, or a hair on the ground is another one. You'd fall over a hair on the ground. I know, oh, Canadian Carry, do you know something? My heart was in my mouth for him. I mean, my God, I don't know, he's just something else. But I just thought it was so funny. So, it's classic Ron, isn't it? Nothing kind of would kind of put him off doing something. He's determined. That's it. He's determined. Kimberly, how are you keeping? How are you? Indiana Jones style for sure, Jesse. What's the weather like, Melissa? Are we warm out there? Is it cold? What is it doing out there? I think, do you know, actually, there's fires out in America, isn't there, as well? Is everybody safe and well? Oh, Kimberly, I see you commenting the times going, oh my God, what's he at like? But it makes it so exciting for us watching, you know. Irish Eyes is in the house, but he is watching Liverpool. Anybody want to put the score up for me? Liverpool are playing a football match. Yeah, he was determined and he found it, which is fantastic. Yeah, God, yeah. I think there was a little bit of a, what would you call it? Um, an accident kind of, but he made it look so professional. Really, Melissa? Wow. I mean, how cold are you talking? I mean, is it bitter cold? 2-2, Jim. Oh no, is it? Oh dear. No, Terry, you're right. You're right. Nothing much. I kind of feel I'm a bit the same in that sense. I'm kind of a nervous driver. I tend to get really kind of anxious driving, so I'm trying to get over that a bit. It's terrible, but there's so much I want to do, but it does entail a lot of driving, and if I could just get myself right and to drive, I would be able to show you so much. If I had the time as well, of course, time is another thing. But as I said, the two mausoleums coming up, um, both of them we get to look inside, and I suppose I'll do one for a premiere, I think, because it's worth every bit of it. Um, but just, I mean, both of them are fantastic mausoleums, but definitely the second one, it's it definitely gave us kind of an Egyptian feel to it, like you're almost walking down into one of the pyramids. But it's not pyramid shaped or anything, but it is just a very unique design then as well. No way, Kimberly. That is crazy. That is crazy. Hi, Noreen. How are you keeping? It is the floods have all gone, Noreen. I was telling everyone Irish Eyes was out helping the people who were, badly hit by the floods. They lost a lot of bits and pieces out of their homes. So, the big clean out, it's kind of still going on down there a little bit. Uh, Wexford was really, really hit bad, not just the village that I am near, but some places, the bridges were swept away, roads were swept away. Like, it was just crazy. It was, they reckon the amount of rain, a month's rain fell in a day, if that makes sense. I mean, that's just, you can't even kind of understand how that can happen. That's it, Terry. Yeah, it's a chauffeur says. You see, that's the other side of me, Jesse. I like to be in control of the journey, if you get me, but I just don't like driving. Um, and then the car was kind of playing up a little bit, so that kind of made me more anxious. But yeah, it's the traffic, Terry. And then we're not, excuse me, Ireland. Our roads are really, really good, but I'm not used to driving into I would never be able to drive into Dublin City. I just wouldn't have a clue. Um, Galway was a tough one enough, and that's why we got the train into into the city of Galway. I just get too nervous, too anxious. Yeah, there was an awful lot of furniture destroyed, and I'm presuming kids' toys that Santa would have been. And you can just, I know from my own living room, Santa had come and he had delivered toys, and the floor was, awash with toys. And so you can just imagine. I mean, this happened really, really quick, really, really fast, and no one was prepared for it. No one was prepared for it. I can see now as you drive through the village, a lot of the homes have sandbanks outside it. So I hope that's not a sign of something else coming. And the cruelest part of it was Met Éireann, which is, excuse me, our main weather forecaster here, only gave a yellow weather warning. We had been talking about weather warnings here a few weeks ago when we had Storm Barra. and they gave a red warning for Storm Barra, and it wasn't. I mean, we had no damage or much damage anyway, but all the schools now closed down. But for this, for Christmas Day, there was no red warning. There was a yellow warning, and people were just. I mean, some of the neighbours said they were sitting on their sofa, and the water just basically came in. So nobody was prepared, which is really, really hard to kind of, it's a hard pill to swallow, that one, because it should have been a red warning. People should have been told to stay in. Um, if it had been a red warning, I would not have gone to mass. I would not have left my home. Um, but as I said, on the other side of that, when we left for mass, it was fine. It was okay to drive. It was we crossed that bridge, and that bridge, the river was low at that stage, so it was just a mix of high tides, torrential rain, and just the banks gave in. Am I near? I'm not really near County Cavan. No, I'm not. Uh, you know, I kind of tend to, um, I kind of Google kind of significant areas. So areas with, you know, maybe somebody in a cemetery that's well known or interesting to look at. Like we have loads of abandoned churches here. So those things kind of always catch my eyes. The older cemeteries and stuff. I actually, to be honest with you, Goldie, I actually have not even, I don't think I've even Googled County Cavan to see if there is anything there. But actually, now that you say it, it might be something that I will have a look into. All right. Cork and Kerry, Maureen, great places. Kerry is, do you know something? Kerry is amazing. There's parts of Cork that I really want to go back to as well. There's a couple of cemeteries down there. One of them has just, oh my God, it's just full of vaults and crypts and stuff. Is it Killybegs in County Cork or Kinsale maybe? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a place I want to go back to for sure. And Kerry is just gorgeous. Kerry is stunning. Jim, that is true. Do you know something? One good deed deserves another, and all of that, isn't it? I'm a big believer in that. What you give out, it will be returned to you. Yeah, Goldie, I just, after seeing what went on and seeing the damage and everything else, you think fire is bad. Fire will go through a house and destroy it. But, when you see that the floods that, Wexford has experienced, you just realize water is every bit as bad. And when it gets into flooring or materials, fabrics, carpets, sofas, into your timber doors, your door frames, your skirtings, they are all destroyed because they swell. And then, water, it really, really stinks. My car was there was a smell out of it. It was just pure, from the water kind of coming inside it. It was just really kind of a musty, horrible smell in the car, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it's just the carpets drying out, so it does an awful lot of damage. Oh, Jim, I can laugh now. That helicopter, we didn't understand at the time when the helicopter came in, because everybody was out at their home at that stage, and everywhere, everybody seemed to be safe. But hi, Bonnie, how are you? Sorry, I'm just seeing the comment there. Um, that helicopter was called because of that elderly couple in the car, excuse me, and they had to be rescued. So that's where the helicopter came into play. But at one stage, we were all standing where I'm videoing that helicopter from underneath. He tried to land where all of us were standing. There was a load of us standing there, and we couldn't move because the wind from the helicopter, the propellers, it was pushing us, into the little wall that was there at the bridge. And at one stage, I thought, oh my God, somebody is going to go in with the wind was just, it was unreal. I've never felt anything like that. And then he decided he couldn't do that, and we were all told to run to get out of the way. But it was so scary, but it was just, I've never experienced anything like that. I certainly have never been near a helicopter like that. So it was kind of exciting, but also a bit scary, I suppose, as well. Bonnie has snow. Wow. Well, if Tony's here, Jimmy should say hello, shouldn't he? Yeah, Bonnie, we're good. Thank you so much. And you know something, guys, you're so kind. Um, I think Irish Eyes had seen a post, and I can't remember the person that, they were concerned about me. And I was thinking, oh my God, I haven't updated since the flood. And I just thought, oh, Suzanne, you're desperate. You're just desperate. So I am sorry that I kind of went missing in action, but we were okay, Bonnie. Thank you. Hazel, do you know something? I often wonder if you go back, and I presume it's true, if you go back far enough, I think people are related down along the line somewhere, aren't they? And I think in Ireland everyone's related anyway. Jim, I watched that tsunami footage. That is scary. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely. I couldn't imagine sitting watching that, the sea, go out and then rush back in. Oh my God, it's so, so scary. And seeing those poor people trapped. Hi, Betty, how you keeping? Yeah, God bless the Coast Guard, absolutely. They're amazing. I wouldn't mind some, Bonnie. Absolutely. Not a load, but enough that I can go out walking in the snow. I wouldn't mind some of that. Hi, Ben, how you keeping? Happy New Year, Ben. Well, Bonnie, do you know something with a name like that? You definitely have Irish roots somewhere. Definitely. Bonnie is, it's not a name that you would hear very often now. It's a beautiful name, but it's definitely, it sounds like an old Irish name for sure. Jim, I don't think you'd get me in a helicopter. I'm hard set to get into an airplane. I am the worst, is where I'm nervous driving, I'm nervous flying, and I'm nervous on sea. So, I wouldn't be a great travel companion, would I? Thank you, Kimberly. Happy New Year to you. God bless. Was it Randy? Well, Randy, thank you so, so much for your concern. I really appreciate it. And I'm so sorry I hadn't checked in. I just didn't even, Christmas, everything, what day is it even? Everything kind of just blurs together. And then we had so much going on. And then we went to Galway. So I just, it's not that I forgot you at all. I just got caught up in all the craziness and the madness. Irish, Mexican, and Native American. Melissa, you must be beautiful. That sounds like such a beautiful mix. My God. Well, Hazel, if your family were Kennedys, come on. Are you related to the man himself? Maureen, congratulations. That is fantastic. That is brilliant. Yeah, Nancy, that is very, very true. I think fire is a visible, it's a damage you can see. Water, as you said, it kind of gets into timber, doors, skirtings, floor, and you mightn't see the damage, but I mean, it's there. Yeah, Nana D, I'm happier with my 2 feet firmly on the ground, and I'm not as bad as what I was. I used to, when you'd see a plane going overhead, it would, I'd nearly start praying for the people on it. I'm just that kind of a person. It's silly, and I have flown not very often, but yeah, I just like being in charge of my own destination, if that makes sense. Wow, Randy, in Ireland, we would never get a weather warning like that, as in snow, unless it was 100% guaranteed. They won't call it here in Ireland. They will say possible snow, possible sleet. It's literally about to fall out of the sky when they say, "Yeah, there's going to be snow," and yeah, it'll stick. As I said, we don't get it very often, um, but we did get it a few years ago now, and it was just like ice. It wasn't even snow. You couldn't even roll it up into a snowball. It was the worst snow I've ever seen. Yes, Betty, absolutely. We took down the Christmas tree and the decorations here this morning. I was done with it, I have to say. Um, I don't like the run up to Christmas. I like Christmas evening, Christmas night, when you've had your dinner and the stress and the rushing and all of that is over with. I don't know, Bonnie. Years ago, I suffered from really bad panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and it really took over everything I did, work wise, travel wise, everything. And I just stopped doing everything. And I kind of woke up one morning and said, if I don't start driving again, or if I don't try things, you're going to find yourself in the house all on your own and not be able to do anything. I don't know where I get it from. It's an awful thing to have that kind of anxiety, and no one really understands until you have it or till you experience it, I think. Um, but there was one stage in my life where even driving was causing major panic attacks, and I had to get out of the car. And I think that's where I've got myself today, that, I drive, I don't love it. I do it because I need to. But I do at times get that feeling in me where I kind of get that anxious kind of panicky sensation, and all I want to do is get there. And when I get there, I'm fine, and then I start to worry about getting home again. No way, Jim. Wow, that is brilliant. That is amazing. Yeah, it is hard, Bonnie. It really is hard. But yeah, you have to do it. It is the only way to get through it. No way, Hazel. I have a huge, I don't know where I get my love for the Kennedys. I remember as a child, my granddad, Lord of Mercy on him, had a lovely, I think it was green binded book all about John F. Kennedy and the Kennedys. And I remember going through it and thinking, even as a small child, thinking he was so handsome. And even now, if there's anything on about the Kennedys, or, I mean, Wexford has a great connection with John F. Kennedy and the Kennedys. The homestead is just outside New Ross there. Um, and John F. Kennedy visited Wexford all those years ago. But I have such a huge, I don't know what it is about him, but there's something very, um, I don't know what the word is. It's just, I don't know. John F. Kennedy for me is, he was an amazing man, I think. And I know there's hundreds out there that will disagree and everything else, but there's definitely something about the Kennedys. I don't know whether it is because of the Wexford connection, but I know my granddad had that book, and I think that's where it started. That whole, I just, anything to do with him, I love, and especially John F. Kennedy, especially John F. Kennedy. Jim, stop. 356 shopping days till Christmas. Oh my God. And I know so many people who will leave the tree up for as long as they can get away with it, and then they put it up in October, and I just cannot do that. Yeah, Canadian Kerry, you have to push yourself. You just have to. And I didn't for a long time. And I'm going back years, but I didn't for a long time. And, life was really, really tough. It wasn't nice. So, anyone that suffers with panic attacks or anxiety, I absolutely, I know what you're going through. Exactly, Hazel. Imagine. You'd often wonder, when you're going through cemeteries or graves, you'd often wonder what their life was like. Or Irish Eyes was only saying it the other day when we were looking into this mausoleum. He said, what would they think? Us standing there with the gimbal and the camera and a microphone, and we're peering in on them, and a torch and the whole lot. What would they be thinking? Isn't it strange? Ah, you're welcome, Ben. He was, Hazel. He really was. He was a passionate man, and I think the Irish in him for sure, definitely, it showed in him. Yeah, Melissa, I do that. When I went for my MRI there a few weeks ago, I had to count to 10 over and over again, and then I recited the ABCs in my head, anything to kind of take your mind off that anxiety feeling. Yeah, Bonnie, I think everybody would remember that. It was a huge thing to happen, I suppose. They really did. Canadian Kerry, that had such tragedy. My goodness, like. Do you know, Jim, there's a new bridge, a new bypass, and they've actually named the bridge after Rose. The Rose Kennedy Bridge, it's actually called that. We actually travelled that the other day coming back from Galway, but it's in Wexford. Tony, how are you? How are you keeping? Bonnie, maybe that's what's wrong with me. Do you know something? Having said that, that doesn't help. That absolutely adds to it. I'm sorry to say, age does play a lot. It does. Yeah, they sure had, Julie. It was, um, yeah, I don't want to say the Kennedys had some sort of curse, but something, when you sit down and you see what they went through, it is terrible. We have a beautiful, huge, a garden area just outside New Ross, and it's called Kennedy Park. And we have a lovely, inside. We have some of, I suppose, photos and all of John F. Kennedy and his wife, of course. And when he came to Wexford, then in New Ross itself, we have this flame that lights for the Kennedys. It's always lighting. And as I said, the new bridge is the Rose Kennedy Bridge. So his homestead then is not that far from here as well. So a very interesting connection, really. I'm good, Tony. How are you? How is the new year doing for you so far? It's probably a little bit early in the year to be asking, but sure, please God, it's better than last year. Lady Unicorn, how are you? Do you know, Hazel, I've been to John F. Kennedy Park. I actually, not that I can remember, I don't think I've ever went to the homestead. I have seen photos online. And if you Google John F. Kennedy Park, New Ross, Wexford, it will, I mean, the park is gorgeous. It is beautiful, really, really maintained well. It's a place we kind of go every summer. Um, the homestead is not too far away from John F. Kennedy Park, but I can't ever remember being there. And as far as I know, it is just a little small cottage. Yes, Bonnie, you just have to change your mindset. Yeah, they're hard, Julie, aren't they? Yeah, do Hazel, do Google it, and sure, you never know. Maybe in the summer I'll go down and I'll try and get you into the homestead. I don't know whether you can go in or is it just does it bring you to the outs? I'm not sure, but we'll definitely try and do that. That would be a nice, actually, nice video. No, Hazel, did years ago I had one and they did give me headphones, and this time they didn't. Um, so it was really uncomfortable and claustrophobic, I suppose. Um, but no, they didn't give me any earphones this time or headphones this time. Thank you, Tony. That is really, really appreciated. Fair play to you. Thanks. W3MPG Rod. I think we'll just call you Rod. Is that all right? It's just a long one, isn't it? Yeah, Hazel, it's horrible. Do you know something? Uh, Sometimes the noise is a distraction if you get what I mean. Um, I think it's just a tight space and the length of time you have to stay in there. You know, that's the biggest thing. The Kennedys have a beautiful compound on Cape Cod. Do the Susan. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And you know, the other day I was on YouTube and I think it came across in the shorts of YouTube, the little tiny short videos, should I say. And it showed that very, the last moments of his life in the car. And I remember so well even looking at that as a child and feeling so sad and upset. Um, but somebody had said on the video, I'm sure it was a short on YouTube, that they felt it was the driver of the car had turned around to shoot. And I was just thinking, come on, stop, like you can't, it'll never be solved, I think, anyway. But as I said, it is nice connection with Wexford, and yeah, I think maybe it's something I'll do in the summer when the weather, or at least maybe the spring even, when the weather is better, that I could do something of the park just to show you how beautiful it is, and maybe this flame to have burning in New Ross, the flame never goes out, and that's for. And I think actually there's a statue there of John himself, and then the homestead as well. It might be a nice one actually to just with the connection, with Ireland and America. It's so strong anyway, isn't it? Oh, it's your call sign. Oh, brilliant. Well, Rod it is so. No way, Betty. Wow. Really Canadian curry. No, us Irish just have to grin and bear it, I think. How are you, Janice? How are you keeping? Yeah, Julie. I watched clips of, and I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to Google it, and it's probably on YouTube, videos of John F. Kennedy when he came to Wexford and that beautiful speech he gave to the Irish, and he kind of made his own Irish connection, and it always gives me kind of do you know the way the hairs on your arm kind of tend to stand up? It always gives me that kind of feeling, that goosebump feeling. I just think he was amazing. Well, best of luck, Kathy, with your CAT scan. Best of luck. Hiya, Sharon. How are you? Wow, Melissa. See, Kathy, I think everybody remembers. Oh, Bonnie, that sounds gorgeous. Wow, the smell of that must be lovely. Yeah, we're all on a diet now. Come Thursday, I'm back to work, back on the diet. Jim, I wouldn't know where to start. It'd be tough going. I got business cards made. I actually don't have one here to show you, but it's kind of like similar to the start of the video. Yeah, business cards made that I kind of leave in churches and stuff, just to, if anybody wanted to watch then a video I made of that area or that cemetery. I just thought it might be a nice addition to the channel. Mind yourself, Hazel. Sleep well and take care, pet. Wow, Kathy. Canadian Kerry, that's been me all Christmas. Do you know that? Right, guys, I've wasted enough of your time. I think at this stage, I'm so happy that we're all back and a new year. Hopefully, the channel will keep growing. It's doing really well, thank God. It's been an absolute blast, as always, to get to talk to you again. As I said, there'll be two videos, a short one and a longer one for the premiere, going up of two amazing mausoleums from County Galway. Um, yes, we're good after the floods, Janice. We're great. Thank you. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much. I wish you all the best for our new year to come and good health. So with that, God bless to you all. Thank you so much once again. Love you all, and we will chat really soon. Okay. Thanks, Janice. Thanks a million. You're so good. Right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.